Okay. Now do we want to do the intro again?
I pull up my broadcast on my computer to watch it as well,
Yeah.
so that I can make sure mine doesn't go bad.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start with the intro again. This is Gamecast. I am Nissan Man 22, joined as always by my co-host ZL1 Red Rum, and we are going to be reviewing Need for Speed Payback in this episode. This is the first episode, and we are streaming it on Twitch, which will be later uploaded to YouTube. So it will be raw. There will be no editing. So, with that being said, go ahead and tell us what you're into here, ZL1.
If I might add, this is kind of a personal opinion kind of review. It's our own personal review, which I think is fair. It is the internet.
As the internet goes.
But I'm the sucker for muscle cars, but I'm pretty much a sucker for tuners as well.
So you're
tuners, muscle cars, or trucks, I'm kind of not into it. Supercars are fine and all, but there's just so many of them out there. They're a bit overrated.
A bit. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that definitely. I am Nissan Man 22. My thing is obviously Nissan because it's in my name, but I have a thing for tuners. I'm not really into muscle cars or trucks that much, but I do dabble in muscle cars a lot, which is saying something because I'm actually driving a Drift Mustang right now. What the hell just happened? Okay, that's a thing. So, I guess we're just gonna dive into this. Shut up, Mac.
Yeah, so kind of the first thing I kind of want to go through is customization in this game.
Okay.
How it's really there, but in a lot of ways it's actually really not there. There's certain things that could have been added easily.
Easily? Like what?
For instance, I don't have a hood on my Mustang. I don't know how this happened, but they put so much detail into these engines. Why didn't they give us this option in the first place? If all you're able to see them enough is to, kind of see the engine when the car is damaged. I don't know if it's supposed to be a future option or not, but I know there's a ton of people trying to lag their internet in free drive or whatever it is to take the hood off. And it's ridiculous. They have to glitch to get it off when they put that much detail under the hood.
You're right.
That's probably my one complaint about customization in this game.
I would agree with that. To a point, however, I think that comparatively speaking, compared to not only Need for Speed 2015, but to Need for Speed Underground 2, if we just get on the same page here, Need for Speed Underground 2 hands down had the best customization.
That is very true.
But I think to a point, Need for Speed Payback rivals it. I think Need for Speed Payback was more well put together than 2015 was as well, because you have, varying weather cycles and varying times of day. So
yeah,
there's that.
Well,
but as
I
far
haven't
as
really seen any rain or nothing in this game. It's more of just a day and night cycle.
yeah, I mean, it gets cloudy and then it doesn't get cloudy.
Oh yeah, that definitely is weather. You're right.
But as far
I think
as
we're kind of expecting if there's a day and night nowadays, there is supposed to be a rain. But I definitely can handle a game without it. I kind of get sick of rain sometimes.
Yeah,
it can be a bit overdone.
Yeah, and especially with Need for Speed 2015 having the roads, it was dark and wet most of the time, or all the time, in that game. There was no differentiation of time.
People liked the game so much that they would go on PC and try to mod in stuff that made it look daytime and get rid of rain because they wanted more from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what this game is.
Mm-hmm. I feel like to a point that EA actually listened to uh, their customers, and they put in what they wanted. Now, as far as customization goes, it is very dynamic and very extensive.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I mean, they got details down to the taillights and the license plates. So
You know, which is nice because you see that in some games, but not in very many.
not in very many, and they had it sorta in 2015. I feel like 2015 was just that broken that you didn't even want to customize your car because you couldn't see
Yeah,
it.
I mean, more than half the time I would go to type in my license plate, and it would either crash my game or freeze my keyboard on my Xbox.
Exactly. So, as far as the storyline goes in this game, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty tacky, but it was fitting for just a racing game.
That's
It's
true.
definitely done more so than I have seen on racing games in a long time.
Mhm. I found it. I found it riveting to a point. It always kept me engaged. But then again, it was lacking that. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It was lacking that kind of. Um, pizzazz, if you will, for me. It was.
Yeah,
It always.
it was repeat this, repeat that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it just got
It was
harder.
always do the same thing over and over and over again. There was no differentiation from the car classes and the not the car classes. Well, I guess you could say car classes because there were different car classes being raced with running.
Yeah, and that was a really good feature.
It was a really good feature. I like that. However, I didn't like the three protagonists. I
Yeah,
felt that was a little bit
especially.
overboard, especially for my taste.
Especially, just the guy that drives the race cars, white Tyler Morgan, or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just generic Bill.
yeah,
The other two, one was just a little too cocky and made everything a joke when it was serious, and the other one was someone that seemed like they should be, some girl that seemed like she was ex-military when she wasn't. It was
yeah.
weird. And I just found a crate, so I kind of want to start on the subject of the police in this game, since I just found this, and this is a good time for police talk.
Oh shit! I just fucked my shit up. Okay.
So police, I think it's fun to destroy them, but I absolutely hate them in this game. They make no
I hate them
sense.
too.
They're just
they
there
don't.
to slow you down and stop you. And honestly, I saw a video of a guy that was on PC, and you know how the limit for cars is $399.
Yeah.
He got the police Corvette. Its limit is 400, and it's extremely grippy. You don't have to drift to go around a corner fast.
Really? Did he use like
It's
mods or something?
stupid grippy. Oh my god. No, he just, well yeah, he modded it into the game. Or not into the game, but he modded it directly from the AIs so he could drive it. He just did that. That was it.
Interesting.
He didn't add nothing to it. The
I feel
Corvettes
like
are the most ridiculous cars.
yeah. I
that the
feel
cops have.
like the cops in this game would be okay if they didn't have the kill switch cars. The kill switch cars piss me off.
Yeah, that and the random ass giant trucks that come after you, the rhinos
rhinos?
or whatever.
Yeah, those
That's
things.
just stupid. They just appear out of
suck.
nowhere. You would see that thing from a mile down the road. No, they just appear out of nowhere.
And then when they hit you, or they hit you, they just barely touch you. They launch you backwards or sideways or to the right or left of where you're trying to go.
Yeah. So the police are a bit ridiculous. They could have done better with that. Like, we even had multiplayer for sure, because they were in 2015 and it was just overdone.
Yeah.
But keep them in single player,
Yeah.
I think would have been kind of fun.
And speaking of single player, What did you think of not only what did you think of the car classes, how they were divided up into what was it? Race, drift, drag, and runner. What did you think of that?
That was pretty good. Sometimes I felt like runner and race were almost the same thing, except for you could do damage to cops if you ran into them with runner more.
I really liked the addition of drag. I liked that they brought the drag racing back into the Need for Speed series because it's always been a big part of Need for Speed in my eyes. It was in Need for Speed Most Wanted back in whenever that game. When did that game come out? 2005. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know more than me when it comes to that.
And I
And
really.
if I have to say so, also, I'm glad they put a ton more gas stations around.
Yeah.
It's fun to actually be able to go all over the map and repair your cars and crap like that.
Exactly. Speaking of the gas station.
I don't have
should
like
get
3.
one.
Yeah, the cops screwed my car up hard, so I had to find one.
What's your favorite class?
Drift, for sure.
Drift for sure. Same.
This game is made for sliding. If you don't slide around the corner, you're gonna be too slow.
That is very true. That is 100% true.
But they put it in a lot better than they did in 2015. 2015 was just clumsy with the drift.
You're right.
A lot of cars' gears felt weird. Some were just like any slower drift car was just really hard to get around a corner for a decent amount of time. You had to really force it and try to do perfect.
It's very true. Now, as far
And
as
the live tuning is good too. You can
Oh, yeah.
like, mess with crap
yeah,
as you go, so you can see what it does to your car.
yeah, I like that too. Other than it distracts you from what you're doing, like I just ran into a truck.
Yeah. But there's no load times to kind of adjust little things in your car, which is
Yeah.
cool.
And you just close out of it. It wasn't like 2015 where you would do the live tuning and then it would reset the car. I think that pissed a lot of players off because they would go and live tune their car and then it would reset the car.
Yeah.
Need to go actually.
Also, if I must say, the audio in this game is awesome. You can
It
hear your
is.
car backfire off of walls and stuff like that.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like as far as audio is concerned, I do not like the protagonist voices. The protagonist voices, they're a bit much for me. And they keep repeating the same thing. It's a repetitive process. If it was something different every time, it would be fine. But the fact is it's not. It's not anything different. Once you complete the game and you run out of story mode, they keep just having the same conversation over and over and over again. If you're gonna make
I think the reason why that is they're on a big budget with these racing games, and they're not caring as much anymore, EA, because their competitors are Forza and stuff like that, where they get tons of sales. This game doesn't get nowhere near the sales.
That's
There's
true.
nowhere near as high as activity on here. I could go on the Forza Horizon 3 post wall for Xbox One right now, find 99 plus posts. Go on there for this right now, find 30, 40 posts.
Yeah. I think that this game definitely has a following, but not as much of a cult following as say the Forza games do, because the first Forza game launched for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you compete with that? But then again, Need for Speed's been around since 1994. When the original Need for Speed came out, as far as I know. So you have two.
Well, and Need for Speed has been on the original Xbox as well. Like, I just bought the first Underground again. Fortunately, my big drive everything's still a little screwy, so I gotta get that replaced. But they've been on the original Xbox as well. More games, I think, than Forza Motorsport, I will say.
Yeah, but the most Need for Speed games, if we're talking platform wise, the most Need for Speed games that have come out for any given platform, it would it would be, in my eyes at least, the PS2, the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, because the PlayStation 1 saw 3, 4, I think maybe even 5 games that were Need for Speed based come out for it, and then the PlayStation 2 had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, if you count Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Most Wanted. You got Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2 that were both released for the PS2 as well. So there's 6 or 7 games there. Whoa. That's
I feel like though they have gotten lazier and more simplistic with some of their games that have come out before this one. This one is definitely an upgrade, but like with the remastered Most Wanted, or not Most Wanted, was it Most Wanted?
Yeah, it was Most Wanted. I did not like that game. I did not
garbage.
like that game at all. It was garbage. I mean, drive around and find the cars, and then there's no customization whatsoever. Come on, that's not what Need for Speed is about.
It was just
like, I get they were
trying
to come off of Need for Speed Shift, because Need for Speed Shift
because that game was
purely track based. It was Need for Speed trying to go sim. Basically, they were trying to ride.
Yeah, and they totally couldn't do that, so they
Gran Turismo
that for try to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Need for Speed. Oh shit! They come out with Need for Speed 2015, and that game was just trash. I threw my copy away. I could not stand that game.
I have a digital copy, and I hid it from my downloads. I don't want to download it ever again.
There has to be a way to remove it. But
this, if you go to it, I think there's a way to hide it from the download list. So you don't have to look at it anymore.
But this, as far as that is concerned, this blows Need for Speed 2015 out of the water. It has to. Just the pure story mode. The story mode in 2015 was just garbage. It was garbage. It was hard to follow. There were so many things going on at once. I like how they classified not only the events in this game, but they divided the car classes as well. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that. One other thing I was gonna go on about is this game looks really similar to 2015. It's running on the same exact engine.
It is.
And that off-puts a lot of people when they either watch the trailer or
Whoa. Are you in the middle of something? I think he's trying to escape from the cops.
I was gonna say this game looks really close to just a slightly buffed out 2015. And it kind of drives like it as well, which I kind of don't like either.
Yeah, the mechanics are a lot similar.
And I don't like that you can turn and then it snaps back in place real sharp, or some cars have a huge amount of oversteer and you can't do anything about it.
And there's some cars with a huge amount of understeer, or when you're in the middle of a drift and you try to drift really, really good, and then you try to pull out of it and it just understeers your car so hard that you hit the wall. That sucks. I don't like that at all.
I think I have that problem the most with the 180.
The 180? Well, the 180 is slow. It's a tier 1 car. Oh shit, Dodge Caliber.
Well, I have the Infinity tier 1 car. I gotta go look at all my drift cars again. I have a lot of them that are tier 1, and they don't handle the same as that car. That car is like the broken drift car of the game.
Which one? The Infinity?
No, the 180.
Oh, the 180? Yeah, I could say
I
that.
really like the way it looks, but it's like the broken drift car in this game. I can drive it fine if I'm drifting, and then as soon as I try to get into a straight line, it tries to toss me at anything that
That's true.
is, in my view.
That's the reason I got rid of mine. Is it didn't do it for
I
me.
mostly kept it because it is really fun to look at.
It's a good looking car. It really is. And that brings me to this. What the car detail in this game. The car detail in this game is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like
They got
really
the
need to put
motor
all the detail
sounds
into the hood
right.
if there's no real way to like see it without glitching the game. They didn't need to do that, and they did it, which is, in my opinion, awesome. They didn't have to put that detail in.
At the risk of being facetious here, I think they should do like something that Forza does with their Forza Vista, and when you go into view your car, you should be able to open the doors and open the hood and open the trunk and see what's inside, and and if you have NOS or
Yeah, if they're
you
gonna
have
start getting
NOS,
this detailed with it, why not?
that was dumb. That was dumb to say. What the hell did I say? See? Yeah, I said something so dumb I wrecked my car. If you have NOS, really?
Oh.
You can't upgrade. You can't upgrade your NOS in this game. We'll get to that later. Anyway. What the hell just happened? Okay.
I didn't do it.
I know you didn't. This one.
I don't know, I was gonna say derelict cars, that's a fun feature, but I wish there was more than
Exactly.
there is.
That brings me to the subject of DLC. Do you think we're done with DLC? And what do you think
I
of
do.
the
I think
the Speed
multiplayer
Cross
DLC was like the last big update. In my honesty, I think they were gonna do this and release multiplayer and be done.
That's interesting that you say that, but people play this game, and I've seen a couple articles on it that during the loading screens there's a thing that pops up, and after you defeat the house, it pops up on the loading screen, and it says the house is gone, and it says ... or is it? Is that a dead giveaway of a future single player DLC?
Maybe. When I first saw that, the first thing that crossed my mind, alright, so they've got to start planning ahead, they have their next game ready, they got the plot ready.
You're right, it could be Need for Speed Payback 2 or something like that. It wouldn't make sense. Oh shit, I fell off a cliff. It wouldn't make sense. It would make more sense to just add a single player DLC. But
Yeah,
I don't see EA.
I kind of feel like this one was so big, especially since 2015 started with multiplayer, but didn't have game chat. This one could easily end with multiplayer that has game chat.
That's true. We're kind of at a standstill, a Mexican standoff, if you will, between the two games. This game has a lot of features that Need for Speed 2015 didn't have, that I like a whole lot better than 2015. Like the day,
Yeah.
and the bait crates. Oh shit! Speaking of bait crates, I just picked one up and I have to run in a drift Lamborghini. Who the fuck does that?
Oh lord. That's another thing. Upgrades. They're random as hell.
They are. The
Good
upgrade
luck or
system
bad
in this
luck.
game is definitely interesting. Fucking Payback. Get out of my way. As soon as
I
when I
kinda
first
don't like it.
saw
It doesn't
the
make
upgrade
sense to me.
system, I didn't understand it. But then after a minute, it kind of it kind of grew on me.
I think the
kinda
more I
grew to
understood
like
it, the less I liked it. Because the way I think of it this way, you have 3 brands that can do whatever for your car depending on what type of upgrade you get. Shouldn't one brand be the low end, one brand be the medium spec, and one brand be the high spec?
You would think that, but then again,
Because
they
that's the
do
way it
have
works for car parts
achievements.
in real life.
Yeah, they do have achievements for crap. Get your fucking or that ass out of my way before I run you over. They do have what I was saying is they do have achievements for. I just got fucking run off the road by an LG truck. They do have achievements for getting speed cards for each brand. So if you get a full setup of Outlaw, a full set of Next Tech, or a full set of what is that? Chicordi or whatever that is.
Yeah, Jidori or whatever.
Yeah.
Jidori.
They have achievements for that. And they're like
But
15
most
Game of
people aren't
Points
going to get
apiece.
those because here's the problem with that is you could have a full set of Outlaw, then go find a Chidori thing that gives you better top speed, but doesn't really hurt any of your car stats. Then someone's probably going to equip that.
Yeah. I've gotten a couple of them. I've gotten a couple of the achievements just because, you know, I wanted them.
Yeah, getting lucky, getting the same brand, or finding the ones you want to buy.
Mm-hmm. That brings me to another thing. The buying of the speed cards when you go to the tune-up shop. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Because if I were to go to the tune-up shop, which I'm going to right now, see this one here. It's what is this? An ECU. It's 24,300. It takes down my 0 to 60. It takes down my quarter mile. It takes down almost a quarter of my nitrous captivity, my nitrous power. It takes down my air time. It takes down my landing. But it increases my brake power and brake response because it has a boost of brakes. And that is 24,300. But if I go over to this one that's level 18, it's stock, and has a boost of nitrous, and it's a head, it only takes down my top speed, my nitrous captivity, and my nitrous power, which is interesting because it has a boost of nitrous. And this one's only 23,850. 24,000, 24,000, 24,000, 23,400, 23,400, 23,400. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't really see the point of... I mean, if one brand was one set price and one brand was another set price, that'd be cool. But they're not.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
They just kind of bounce around the $23,000 to $26,000 range.
Another thing that can kind of bug me is getting base shipments and getting your speed card, or your blue cards, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
You can never get an even amount because it's always getting you like 4. And it costs 3 to get a spin.
That's true.
Right in.
You're right.
So I'm always buying one just to go trade it in so I can get another card to even everything out.
You would be correct.
But I do like that you can earn those. You don't have to buy base shipments. You don't have to worry about premium ones because they're just a little bit more items for money.
Mm-hmm.
Not worth it, and no one really does it.
You know, someone in chat brings up a good question. How many hours of gameplay do you think it would take to 100% complete the
Oh man,
How many? Okay, let's start with this.
considering-
How many hours do you have invested in this game as of this moment?
I
Ballpark.
don't actually know. Probably a few days, like 2 or 3. How much I play this game. And I have 52 cars and a lot of the billboards and chips collected. I don't know how near I am to completing 100%. Probably not close.
I would say I have at least 70 hours in the game. And I've completed the story mode, but there's still a bunch of, oh shit. There's still a bunch of collectibles I have to get. I've only found, what, 26 of the chips, and I've gotten, I think I have more billboards than I do the chips. How many billboards even are there? Hold on, let me find them.
Yeah, I think I have quite a bit of billboards. I'm very close. But I'm pretty bad at finding the chips, because also I got annoyed with them. Because chips, they
Yeah.
put in the weirdest spots. You find some on the ground that are easy to hit, and then some where you have to go off and jump at the perfect speed, or you'll just barely miss it.
That brings me to the new DLC, Speedcross. Speedcross gave us a new, not only a new game mode, basically a new add-on to story mode, but it also gave us 2 new cars.
Which you can buy separately.
Why?
You don't have to buy them with the...
You don't have
Deluxe.
to buy them with that, but why? Exactly. Why would you even buy those? And if you had the deluxe edition,
Yeah.
which we both do,
To me,
you
was
get
fun.
that for free.
It
I
wasn't
enjoyed it.
really...
I enjoyed the shit out of that because
yeah,
in
it
all
wasn't
actuality,
long
I
enough.
actually
It wasn't
put the whole update on my channel, and there was a good
enough. I completed it in
4
about
hours.
an hour. Wasn't enough. Oh, I drove through that crap in like an hour.
Oh. Good for you. Oh shit.
I think it kind of depends on how quickly you go to them and
Yeah.
how fast you are at just kind of going through, and you don't care about the best score and all this crap. You just care about passing.
Yeah.
It was
I
really
tried for
fun
the
though.
best
It was
score.
amazingly
It was.
fun.
I didn't like
And I liked
the
the little
fact
rivalry
that
with the one guy.
yeah, I didn't like the fact that it only gave you 1 car, and you couldn't buy any cars from the Speedcross dealership until you had completed all of the races. It
Yeah, I'd
kind
like
of
to
defies the
kinda
point
do-
of getting a fucking Speedcross dealership if you can't buy any cars.
Yeah, I bought a Speedcross Infinity and the Mini just to get the achievements, and then I bought one more. I think it was a Charger, and I'd never use it. It's not really anything special.
I bought a 350Z.
I don't honestly see any difference between Speedcross and Runner. Maybe a little bit more like slide to them, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're built to drift. It's a little bit more drifty, but other than that, it's really not anything that special.
Yeah,
But
you can definitely
I
live
do
without
think
the cars.
that the tracks were put together very well. The storyline was put together very well, and you could tell that EA actually took their time and wanted, you know,
Yeah, it was a good thrill.
yeah. They didn't just throw it together like we see all of our top, people doing.
Yeah.
It was actually really, really fun. So as far as the derelict cars go, I just saw my drag bug in the background. How do you feel about what they actually were and the time invested in actually going out and finding the parts to complete them? Could EA have made it a little bit easier to find, or do you think it was easy enough?
I think it was fair at the most because you get them up to $3.99. It's a free car. You just gotta go search a bit for it. They're just kind of making you explore the world they put together.
Mm-hmm.
A world they took a lot of time on.
Yeah, they did. The world, the map. The map is beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so much detail. Just like as you're driving like through the canyons and stuff, there's so much detail just in everything. Oh shit. And the way they put the roads in, and how the roads even fade. They're not all just one color, you know. Oh.
Yeah, there's a ton of free roam racing games that do that I've seen.
This is a game that you could get on and just cruise and just look at the world, not hit that truck.
That's another thing. I kind of wish the camera could go a bit further, kind of like the drone in Forza Horizon 3. So you can kind of look at it more without having to use your car all the time.
Mm. Well, you can with photo mode.
Yeah, you can't go that far.
Right,
you kind of look around. You gotta drive a bit and look around some more.
I mean, I can go...
And photo mode is done really well. I do like the photo mode.
Yeah, me too. I can go pretty far away from the car, and then with that I have a 360-degree view. But then again, that's with all racing games right now. That's a pole. I wonder if it's because I'm on a pole. Can I go any further than this? Nope, I cannot.
I mentioned early in this, I kind of think a lot of supercars are a bit overrated. But
Yeah.
I am still glad that they decided to put more detail into them in this game. If you basically wasted your money on them in 2015, you couldn't beat anybody with a fast tuner. You were screwed.
Really? Wow. I didn't really play, in all honesty, I didn't really play 2015 that much. I played it for maybe 2 days and got off of it because I hated it. I hated the dynamics. I hated the physics. I hated everything about that game.
Yeah, I would play it sometimes just to hang out with friends. I wouldn't even drive that much. But
It was one of those sitting in a gas station parking lot and doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, just a game to sit and chat. But I did play it enough to get like 2 supercars, and they were absolutely a big waste of time.
Were they? Huh.
They were not
what'd you
meant
get?
for that game.
What'd you get?
I got the Ferrari 458s or whatever. And then I think I got an Aventador, and they were both just horrible cars in that game.
That's what I think this game needs. It needs Ferraris. They need to bring Ferraris into this game. I think that would be awesome because of what happened with Forza. Not to compare this game to Forza. This game doesn't compare at all. But that being said, I think because they're for the Aventador and the Huracan and even the Agera or even some of the lower class cars, there's like the BMW M4 and M5. There's the LB Works body kits. And I know the Ferrari 458 Italia has an LB Works body kit in Forza 6 and Forza 7. So if they were to bring Ferraris in here, they definitely need to bring these 3 Ferraris. They need to bring the F40, the F50, and I only say the F50 because the F50 was in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. And they need to bring the 458 Italia for the LB Works body kit.
Yeah. Even
I would also like to see
the 458 in Horizon 3.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. They also need to... I would like to see, my personal opinion, I'd like to see the F355 come into the game. Both the Cabrio
Yeah, that would be cool.
and the hardtop. And there should be an option to change them both. Or just bring the 355, not the F355, what the hell? The 355, and then have an option to change the roof to either a soft top or a hard top.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And then I think the 57 Chevy is to come, the Bel Air.
Yeah.
I'd also like to see something like a 70s Cadillac DeVille or a
Oh, that'd be pretty mean.
or a Lincoln Continental from like the 1970s or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think should come? What would you like to see in the game?
Well, I'm kind of happy with what we do have, but in other ways, I've noticed we have BMWs in this game, and then 2 Audis. One Audi that's it's not bad, but it's not too good. And then we have another, which is the R8, which is pretty fast, but it can easily get beat by a bunch of other cars. But
True.
for those that really like the style of Audi over BMW, I think they should add a few more.
I would agree with that.
Because there's definitely a market for both.
I'd also like to see like the Acura Integra,
Yeah, that's
like the
cool.
90s one. Any 90s tuner car, even like a Honda CRX. And you
Yeah,
take
for
that
sure.
thing up to 399, that would be awesome. It's so small and so nimble, it could, easily whip any Lancer or 350Z out there. I only say 350Z because I couldn't think of anything else, and that's what I'm driving right now. Ooh. So I think we've, what all have we covered here? Oh,
A
what
lot of
about,
stuff.
yeah, we have covered a lot of stuff in 40 minutes. What about the free mode stuff, if you will, that aren't events, like the speed runs and the speed traps and the drift zones and all that? What do you think about that? Do you think they kind of copied off Forza Horizon for a bit there?
They
that
heavily
regard?
copied off of Forza Horizon. I kind of wish they came up with something a bit more unique, not just scores on things, leaderboards. We've seen that a few too many times. A lot of people are kind of getting tired of it and stopped caring. They don't have to do that for shipments, so they don't.
Day's half over. Or as I like to think,
Yeah.
half full.
Oh, here's one of those calls. Okie dokie.
See, and I'm kind of one of those people that I'll do them, kind of, but I won't try my best on them.
Yeah. I like the drift zones
They're
personally.
there.
If
Yeah,
they
those
were
are
to
fun.
turn the drift zones into actual drift events, I think that it would be amazing. What they should do is they should this is what I would like to see personally. The jumps they could do they could do off-road races, and the speed zones they could do as races, or even
Yeah, like a
drag
street
races,
race.
like a street race or drag races. The speed cameras, we can't really, make that a race, but the drift zones should definitely become drift events because they're long enough, sorta,
Yeah.
to a point. And I don't know if you're familiar with the term toge or togue or whatever it's called over there in Japan, but they can turn them into to those type of events.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if you've ever seen Initial D,
I have. Yeah.
but that's basically. I'm not saying that that's what that, you know. I'm not saying that that's what that's about, but basically, toge or togue, however you want to pronounce it, I forget how. It's fucking 3:30 a.m. Jesus. Basically, there's an uphill and a downhill run, or a forwards and reverse run. They could, do that. I think that would be an excellent DLC idea.
Yeah, I really do hope they add one to this game because I don't want to stop playing it anytime soon.
Yeah, I hope they add on to story mode because again, it was awesome, but at the same time, I do not like the way the story mode ended. I don't. It was
Yeah,
it was it was kind
left
of a
you hanging.
letdown.
Wasn't
It
a
was
lot to
kind
be
of a
desired.
letdown. It was kind of like Need for Speed The Run. You ever play that game?
Yeah,
After you complete Need for Speed The Run, there's a scene in it that the protagonist is sitting at a diner's table and he is talking with the person who was, I guess, helping him. And she mentioned something about doubling down. And the next thing you see is him in a car running from the police. Okay, great. At the end of that, I thought, awesome, they're going to make a sequel. To this date, they haven't made a sequel to that. And that was a
yeah,
really
true.
fun game. If you like action and screaming your head off at the TV, which is what I did, not going to lie. If you like action and cars blowing up a lot, for a 360 game, that was awesome. I would love to see them come out with the sequel to that game. I think it would be an awesome one, but I don't know how they would do that with this game being out already.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to tackle.
What the? All right. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But I think we've pretty much covered everything that needs to be covered. Can you think of anything else you
yeah,
would like to add?
for single player, that's for sure. I think we should separate single player and multiplayer into different episodes. Kind of
I would agree with that.
might be a good idea. I know we kind of planned on doing it tonight, but
Yeah,
probably better to separate it. Then it could be a fresh new episode, and people wouldn't have to think about them both too quickly.
that's true. I would agree with that. Uh, just so everybody knows, this again was streamed on Twitch and is going up to YouTube, so there is no editing. If you have any suggestions for future games that we can review, go ahead and let us know either in chat or in the comments on YouTube, and we will be happy to.
Even if you want to at least message me, I don't know about Nissan, but if you want to message me, you can message me on Twitch. I look at that pretty frequently.
I do not look at my messages on Twitch because I am new. I'm a noob, okay? But if you do message me
Yeah,
on Twitch, I will figure out how to do that.
eventually see it. Or even Xbox. It's the same thing as
Yeah.
my Twitch, but without the underscores and without the Xbox One thing at the end.
Mm-hmm. Um, I know there is a game I'm kind of putting off doing, but I really, really want to do it because I believe that both you and I play with a lot of people who play the game,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to give it away on an episode. I think that's something for later.
Agreed.
But I don't know as if I want to do it, but I do want to do it at the same time because you and I both play with a lot of people who play the game, so that
Mhm.
could be coming up. I also want to do Gears of War 4. I haven't played a lot of it. I am about halfway through the campaign, I think. And I know
Yeah, we should definitely get back on that.
both
It's
you
a
and I
good one to get
have,
going.
have done Horde. So I do want to get back on that one. Other than that, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.